started to change how I saw Caleb. I began nitpicking more, arguing more, thinking less about our laughter and more about what we didn't have. Jasmine kept whispering, "You can do better. He's holding you back." Hi, I'm Madison Carter. I work in marketing, love thrift shopping, and have a slight addiction to late-night baking shows. For most of my life, I didn't chase luxury. Just peace, connection, and a home filled with laughter. I thought I had it all when I met my husband. This is the story of how I almost lost everything because of someone I trusted the most. We weren't rich, but we were happy. Just two middle-class people in a tiny apartment filled with plants, laughter, second-hand furniture, and late-night coffee. We didn't wear designer clothes or vacation in Europe, but we made memories watching old movies, cooking midnight ramen, and dancing in our living room like idiots. His name was Caleb, and for the longest time I thought he was the best thing to ever happen to me, until I let someone else convince me otherwise. We fought like all couples do. Petty things. Wet towel on the bed. Dirty shoes in the hallway. That one time he forgot our anniversary because he was working overtime, but we always laughed about it later. One sulk, one joke, one hug, and the storm would pass. Until she arrived. Jasmine was my best friend since college. The type who always looked flawless. High heels, flashy bags, and drama. Always drama. She'd visit our home often, always with comments that sounded sweet, but weren't. "Oh, he still can't remember to dry the bathroom floor? You let him wear that outside? Sweetie, you deserve someone who takes you to Bali. Not just the diner down the street." It started to change how I saw Caleb. I began nitpicking more, arguing more, thinking less about our laughter and more about what we didn't have. Jasmine kept whispering, "You can do better. He's holding you back." It wasn't a big blow-up. It was quiet, cold, a pile of small resentments that finally collapsed. "I just feel like you're not trying anymore," I told him one night. He looked stunned, hurt, but he didn't fight back. "I thought we were trying together," he whispered. Things got worse after that. We stopped talking not just for hours but sometimes days. We still lived under the same roof, but it felt like different worlds. Dinners went cold. TV shows played in silence. We'd go to bed without a word, backs turned, tears quietly soaking into pillows we no longer shared. We kept hoping things would fix themselves, but they didn't. Eventually, we sat across from each other at a lawyer's office. No screaming, no begging, just the sound of pens scratching paper. We signed the papers, and just like that, we became strangers with shared memories. And that silence that followed? It wasn't freedom. It was grief. I cried in the bathroom with the faucet running, hoping the walls wouldn't echo my sobs. I'd walk past his favorite mug and feel my chest cave in. Some nights I'd text him just to delete it before hitting send. Losing him didn't feel like a chapter ending. It felt like the whole book had been torn in half. At first, Jasmine kept me busy. Girls' nights, shopping, cocktails I didn't enjoy. "Move on fast," she'd say. "There's no time to cry over spilled love." But I couldn't. I'd lie awake thinking of Caleb's silly laugh. The way he brought coffee when I worked late. How he once spent an entire Sunday building me a bookshelf out of scrap wood. Just because I said I wanted one like the one from my childhood. I missed him. I ached for him. Then came Logan. A guy from our mutual circle. Tall, smooth, charming. He'd offer rides, text funny reels, suggest coffee. First I ignored him. I had no intention of starting anything with anyone, not now. Not while my heart still ached for Caleb. Everything reminded me of him. His voice, his coffee mug, the way he'd pull faces during boring documentaries. I wasn't ready. I wasn't even okay. But Jasmine? "Oh, come on," she'd push. "You need a real man. Not some bargain bin husband from a feel-good Netflix movie." She kept encouraging me to say yes. "He's a catch girl. Don't be stupid. You really want to die alone thinking about a man that doesn't care for your future? You need a man who can elevate you." We had coffee, a few lunches. Logan seemed like a genuinely good person, respectful, attentive, kind in a polished sort of way. So I said yes to the occasional coffee, accepted his offer for rides. It didn't feel like dating. Felt manageable. Something to quiet the noise. He was smooth, but something about him felt fake. like a rehearsed script. Still I kept going. Maybe to feel wanted. Maybe to shut Jasmine up. But inside, I was unraveling. Because every time Logan smiled, I saw Caleb's soft, crooked grin instead. Every time he dropped me home, I remembered how Caleb used to wait in the car until I was inside, just to be sure I was safe. And sometimes when Logan pulled away, I caught myself turning around, hoping maybe it was Caleb who had changed his mind and come back. I would always wonder, does Caleb miss me the way I ache for him? Does he think about me late at night? Or has he already moved on? Did he ever think of calling me just once to ask how I was doing? To hear my voice? To say he still cares even a little? One evening, I overheard a conversation between two mutual friends at a small dinner party. You know Jasmine was the one who pushed Logan onto Madison, right? Yeah, and she knew about his temper. That guy has restraining orders in his past. What kind of friend does that? The room spun. I sat frozen, my wine glass trembling in my hand. They didn't know I was behind the curtain. They didn't know I heard every word. And in that moment everything clicked. I saw it all with painful clarity. How Jasmine had always made sly little remarks disguised as jokes. How she never truly liked Caleb, always calling him too ordinary or low effort. How she rolled her eyes anytime I spoke kindly about my marriage. How Jasmine couldn't stand seeing me deeply loved, while she was ghosted by shallow men who fed her compliments but never stayed. And how deep down she hated that I had something real. Something she couldn't fake or manipulate. Jasmine didn't just push Logan on me. She wanted to destroy what was left of my heart. That weekend at a friend's birthday dinner, I couldn't hold it in any longer. The restaurant was dimly lit, filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and the buzz of casual conversation. But I had been quiet all night, watching Jasmine laugh like nothing had happened. And then, I stood up. My hands shook beneath the table, but my voice? My voice was steady, cold, clear. You were supposed to be my best friend, I said, loud enough that the whole table went quiet. But you've been jealous since the day we met. Jasmine froze, a smile still awkwardly frozen on her lips. You knew Logan had issues. You knew he had a history of anger, and you still encouraged me to go out with him, right after my divorce. My voice rose slightly. You knew exactly what you were doing. You wanted to ruin what little I had left because you couldn't stand that I had love you couldn't buy. Gasps echoed across the room. One of our friends dropped her fork. Another turned away, pretending to scroll through her phone. Jasmine scoffed and rolled her eyes, trying to laugh it off. Oh my God, Maddie, are you seriously doing this right now? You're being dramatic. But her voice cracked, and her face turned bright red. No one came to her defense. Because the truth? They'd all seen it. The comments, the competition, the quiet cruelty. They just hadn't had the courage to say it until now. That night, Jasmine's carefully curated image, the polished, put-together woman who just wanted the best for her friends, finally shattered. I wanted to call Caleb 1,000 times. I'd stare at my phone, scroll to his name, thumb hovering over the call button. But something always held me back. Shame. How do you reach out to someone you pushed away because you listened to someone who never wanted your happiness in the first place? I thought, what if he hates me now? What if he's moved on? So I stayed silent. But the silence hurt more than anything, because I missed him to death. I went back to that little park, the one with the flowering trees and quiet benches. I walked through it slowly. The sun filtered through the branches just like it used to. The place Caleb and I used to sit with melting ice cream and talk about dreams we couldn't afford. And there he was, alone, sitting under our tree on the same bench we used to sit on together. Fingers laced, watching the world slow down. I didn't know what to say. But when he saw me, his eyes welled up. I missed you, I whispered. He stood slowly. I missed you every single day, he said. But I didn't want to hold you back. I broke down, told him everything. The doubts, the regret, the truth about Jasmine. I tried calling you. I wanted to fight for us, but everyone said you moved on, that you didn't care. I didn't move on. I just got lost. I missed you every day. I thought I wanted more. But I already had everything. And he didn't flinch. He just pulled me into his arms. I never stopped loving you, he said. We didn't go back to where we were. We built something new, stronger, wiser. I learned that no glitter in the world could outshine the kind of love that stands by you through every storm. And Jasmine? Last I heard, friends had cut ties. She lost her job because her attitude had already caused problems, and now her reputation followed. She moved away quietly, to another city, another life, hoping to start over. Managing a nail salon. Alone. Still posting selfies. Still chasing attention. But no one was clapping anymore. Because karma never forgets. Especially when you try to destroy something genuine.